What's up YouTube, and today is finally the day we're going to paint the door panels for my BMW 128i. Now what we're using today is COLORBOND LVP, and if you watched the center console video, you already know the process. It's already prepped. I've got most of the center part taped off and kind of clamped so I don't spray it. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna spray the whole thing black, then we're gonna lay it back down, cover the behind part, spray the inserts red, then we're gonna cover everything and then spray that inner door handle right here, the underside of it, in black. I'm gonna do it that way because there's no way to actually take the insert off without breaking the handle off and then trying to reapply it. And I don't know how that's gonna work because it's kind of got like plastic rivets, so it's not gonna be the best or the most ideal way, but we're gonna make it work. I've been thinking about how to do this for a while. I haven't want to mess it up. This is one of the most important parts and one of the hardest ones to do. So let's stop wasting time. Let's get into it. So first you're gonna do, obviously shake the can up, hit this thing, light mist coats, wait about 10 minutes, hit it again. You only gotta do it about 3 times if you get good coverage, and then you should be good. It dries pretty quickly, but we're just gonna run through the process and put you on a time lapse. And we're gonna get this one done. I don't think we're gonna get the second one done, but hopefully we get this one done in the car. And that way, when I go to get it wrapped, the guy who's gonna wrap it can actually get out of the car with the handle rather than the push pin thing I got now. So, and we get an idea of what it's gonna look like. So I'm excited. Let's get to it. Alright, so 2 coats in. We might need one more just to kind of even everything out. It still looks a little wet in some places. That's why the color's not exactly, straight. It looks like it's kind of spotted on the camera, but some places are wetter than others. I got in that cabinet or like cubby really well. I got a little bit on the insert. When we go over it with red, it'll cover it up. So no big deal. I gotta lay it up there, get the bottom of it. We just gotta make sure we get the edges. I'm actually kind of running out of paint, but all we got really left, other than touch up, is this little spot in black right here, which we should be good. I painted the 2 little pieces that go in the little screw covers. But while we wait for this to dry, we're gonna walk on out here and look at the car and talk about some other things we're gonna do. I just ordered the plastic Bondo stuff for the rear bumper, and honestly, there's not a whole lot to do. We got to sand down this here because it's jagged. There's a spot here, there's 3 spots here, and on the bumper cover that's about it, other than the tailpiece or tailpipe here. And I kind of want to get a Dremel and maybe just carve that out a little bit bigger so that the heat from the exhaust pipes, when we get those on, won't have that same problem. Obviously we've went over the dents before. It has come to a point in time where we are taking the stylish sticker off the front. I got this sticker yesterday since I went down to Charlotte to shoot photos. It is the Royal Car Club. They gave me this sticker, so we're gonna put it right up here. And so while that dries, we're gonna do that. All right, so we got it on there. It doesn't look straight with the black thing in the middle, but what I realize is the black thing is not actually straight. But if you look at it from the emblem, it's pretty dead on center. It's about as good as I can get by myself. So shout out to Royal Car Club for the hookup. Yeah, so that was fun. And let's get back to that door. All right, so it's almost completely dry. I unclamped the cover. Kind of got a little creases in it. I can fix that. Not a whole lot of black on it, just a little bit. Quite a bit right here. The red will cover it up, but I'm gonna try to get some alcohol and wipe on there and just clean that off, just so in case it's not supposed to bleed through, but in case it does, it won't. And then we're gonna spray this red. I'm gonna put something behind all of this, and then we're gonna try to mask this off as best as possible. We get a little red here, it's okay. We're gonna let that dry, and then we're gonna put something over everything here, and then we're gonna put a piece of tape down in this groove, and then we're gonna shoot the rest of this handle black. And then hopefully everything should be pretty good. I got the inside here really well. That turned out better than expected. That was what I was kind of contemplating about too, because you can't take that tray out. Because what I'm talking about is it has these plastic, like melted rivets. And so in order to take this stuff off, you'd have to heat it back up, take the rivets out, and reapplying it. I'm not sure how that would be done. And I don't know the integrity of how strong that is, considering this is like a handle you would pull on to get out or close the door. So I wanted to leave that alone, which has kind of been the problem. I already have the cover for the speaker and the cover for this handle painted. I don't for the other door because it's still in the door. That's why I wanted to do this one. That way the guy who's going to wrap it can open the door, and I can get this back in the car. I'm excited to see what it's going to look like. This is all kind of tedious because it's not very practical to dye your interior, not like this. But I'm doing this so you guys can see how it turns out and how you dye the entire interior. And also, I want to learn. So the best way to learn things is to go and do it. I don't see a whole lot of this done, so I wanted to be one of the ones to do it. So, and also, I couldn't get this interior. Like, there was options. I could have sold the car and then got this interior, but I was already too deep into it. And I wanted to, make it my own. And the only set of black and coral red interior was beat all to pieces and ripped on eBay. And they still wanted like $2,500 for it, plus shipping. So I didn't have much of an option. And there was no wrecked cars around here at the time. I think there might be some now. But, I mean, we got this panel and the door panel, we're done. Minus the seats. So there's no going back now. It actually didn't come out that bad. Like I said, I'm going to get this off. I'm about to take a break here because this is killing my head, this paint. Even though you got a mask on, you still can smell it. I don't have a respirator, so that's probably my problem. Make sure you get that when you use this stuff. This stuff stinks. We got the edges great. Everything looks good. Looks pretty solid. We put some vinyl protector stuff on here and wipe it down. It'll look a lot better too. So, yeah. Let's move on to the next step. All right, so masking off wasn't as hard as I thought. I just put a bunch of brown paper around it like that. Made sure I blew everything off. I covered this up as best as possible. I left a little gap so that we can get red on it. That way the red gets down in the creases here on the fabric. But when we go back and paint this black, we'll paint over that little red that's there. That way it's kind of a very fine line of if you can see the tan underneath it or not. We should be good. So we're pretty solid. I wrapped this up pretty good just so we don't get a bunch of paint on it, because we don't want a whole lot on there just in case, the red and the black kind of messes with each other. But we should be good. So let's start painting. So little pit stop, we got to get some glue because what I used in the back section last time, I don't know if it's still any good. So we got to find the art and craft section, and then I'm gonna show you exactly what kind of glue is best for applying those inserts. So this is the best kind, the kind with the nozzles up top. Makes it a little bit easier. It's only $3.97, but this stuff is like super good. So I'll show you how to use it when we get back, and let's get to it. All right, guys, we are back. It's a couple days in the future. I actually ran out of dye. Didn't realize that the can that I was using was only a partial can. Thought I'd have enough to finish this one door, but I didn't. So we got some more. Currently, throughout the entire process of this one video I've been making, it took like almost 2 weeks to make because of shipping. I've actually worked up a partnership with COLORBOND. So we're still working on the details, but they've been real supportive of the build and supportive of my content and sharing things that involve their brand. So I just want to give a huge shout out to COLORBOND. I love their product. We will be doing a review video after I finish this interior within a couple months to see how it does. And we'll probably do one next year if I still have most of these pieces in there, just to see how well the dye held up, see if it cracked, chipped, anything like that. Some spots have cracked and chipped, but I did not technically do the proper procedure because, like I said, you're supposed to put the primer on and the 2K clear afterwards. I'm just using the dye. So don't let that speak for the product only. Just let that speak for the fact that I didn't do it the right way just because I'm trying to cut corners. You know, that's never probably a good thing, but it is what it is. So we got the red painted. I don't know if I was able to get all that on video or not. And so we got the glue that we just picked up from Walmart. And so we're gonna start gluing down this insert. We're gonna start by the seam that goes down the middle, and then we're gonna work our way out to the edges and then tuck them into the little, I don't know if you can see the little cracks here. And we're just trying to make it as flat and as smooth as possible so you don't see any glue or bumps behind it. I can give you an example with the panels I already did. I kind of messed them up. So if you come to the ones that I've already did, you can kind of see how flat that side is compared to this side. It's not like visually much different. Like if you just glanced at the back or just looked at it, you wouldn't know unless you're me because I did it. But you can definitely tell that's the second time I did it and that's the first, and you can see the ripples. It's not the best on this side, but it is what it is. So we're just gonna make sure we press it down and do it just like that, and they should come out beautifully. All right, so we got the glue and we got the nozzles. This little black cap right here is for when we're done. Gives you a couple different nozzles if you use it multiple times. That way they don't get gunked up, stuff like that, because this stuff is permanent and it's great. So what we wanna do is we wanna start by gluing down the seam right here. Once we get the seam all the way down and attached, which right here, it is attached, so I just got to do it at both edges. Once we do that, then we can start working it on this side, push this back into the grooves, and then we'll start working it on this side, and we'll make sure everything is flat and even like we just talked about. And then when we're done, we'll just put this black cap on, and we'll save this for the next panel that we're going to finish up. After everything's glued down, then we'll mask this off again right around the seam here and try to get this handle as best as possible on the back side with black, and try not to get none on the red, because if we do, we're kind of screwed. So definitely tedious, definitely something you want to take your time doing. Make sure you read the instructions on the weather and stuff. It's not too bad out here now, so it shouldn't have a problem adhesing. So yeah, without further ado, let's get to gluing. All right, so that was a little tedious. Try not to mess anything up and be perfect, so I'm taking my time. We got this from this seam all the way down, this seam back. I have not done this part yet. I'm gonna let this dry, make sure this is all good before we move on to that one. That way, if anything's messed up over here, we still have a chance of prying it up without messing up any of the dye. This does not have to be glued. So I'm trying to save some glue on that, because when the door handle sits in there, it'll hold this down in place, as you can see from the indentions of where it was before. I worked everything this way and tucked it all in. I made sure to put enough glue on the edges to hold this seam down. As you can see, it's still a little wet over here, but that is nothing to be worried about because obviously we gotta let it dry. I'm not sure how long it takes to dry completely. Let's see if we can see it real quick. So depending on materials and temperature, it says 48 to 72 hours for maximum strength. So that's what we're gonna do before we apply this or put this door on. I just wanna make sure this is perfect because you open the door, you're gonna see this. So definitely good. You can see some oil from my hands and stuff that has been on the door. We'll wipe everything down and finish it up once we're completely done with the paint and gluing process. But I'm happy with this. This looks very good. The foam right here will blow this out with the air compressor after it's completely cured as part of the cleaning process as well. Yeah, I'm excited. So I'm gonna let this dry. I'm gonna run down the road real quick, and then when I get back, I'm going to finish up this side, the same as you just saw, and then I'm going to prep this to get ready to paint. So I will catch you back when we get ready for that. All right, so I masked off the handle. I actually found out an easier way to do this. It has a spot here and a spot here where you can drill it out. The tabs, I cut them on the back side, and so I just pulled this through and then put this plastic under it. So I'm gonna paint this like this to ensure nothing gets on the red. I mean, this is the best way possible. I'm gonna do this with the next door. I want to do the other card. I don't know if I'm going to pull it off completely. I might just do it like this again. But working around this is really hard, so being able to just take it off shouldn't be a problem. And I can actually reattach this on this side with a small enough screw, and then maybe a bolt or something to go down here, and then a nut on the other side to hold it on. You also have this bolt right here, so it's not like the handle's going to just rip off. But for extra surety, I'm going to try and see what the best method would be for that. You can kind of see where we painted around here, but obviously the door trim's going to cover that. But it definitely will look better on the second door because we'll kind of have an idea of how to do it better, because each panel is different, because this is way more complex in the back. However, the inserts look pretty good. I still get a little bit of the ripple, but honestly that's kind of because the foam fell out and just the air pockets where the glue was. But we'll just have to see after that. All right, so everything has been prepped and finished on the new panel and on the panel we painted. It honestly has been a utter nightmare. I did most of it off camera just because I was trying to focus on getting the door how I want it, not messing anything up, and trying not to worry about filming the itsy bitsy pieces. You can see me take off the old doors, which is pretty much the reverse process of putting on the door on the last video I did, which is how to take off the door panel on the BMW 128i. Let me flip you guys around and show you what the finished product looked like. All right, so it is a little dark. We still got to get a speaker cover for this. However, the door looks great. We got everything in here. I got the trim on, everything. It was pretty much, yeah, it was a little tricky trying not to, you know, mess anything up. The other panel we're painting, I ended up getting some clips to properly do this the right way. And then I took the handle off, which I don't know where I laid it. I laid it over here. It looks like that. And then I ended up getting some bolts and washers to reattach it back to the door panel. Works like a charm. I ended up taking the handle out of the actual piece here. There's just a plastic pieces you tap out, and then I can tap it back in. It pops into place. It looks like this. Let's see if it'll focus. Probably not. But yeah, I'm definitely excited. I'm also really tired. I want to try to get this done. I doubt this door is going to get finished tonight. I really don't want to fool with it. But that's going to be the end of this video. And you guys will see the entire finished product in the next video. But if you like this type of content, make sure you like, subscribe, hit that notification bell to stay on top of the project and every new video we make. I appreciate you guys sticking this out. This has been a long, drawn-out video just because of wait times between getting more dye and just the process in which it takes to do this the right way. Well, kind of the right way. But it's well worth it. Better than the beige. And I couldn't find any OEM interior. If anyone's wondering, it was $2,500 for the entire interior in coral red and black, and it was already shredded up and ripped in places, so it had to be fixed anyways. So I was like, shoot, we'll just try dyeing it, and I don't think it looks too bad. I really don't. When we get bucket seats in here, the seats won't be a problem. Everything will look good. Sorry about the frogs in the background. North Carolina is dark and humid, and frogs are mating this time of the year, so that's fun in the videos. Anyways, we got a lot of work still to do. If anything starts to crack, peel, or chip, we'll try to fix it. If we can't fix it, we'll probably pull it out and try to find an OEM piece. We'll just see how it goes. For the next 6 months, or I guess kind of July-ish, I'll have the backseat in, so I'll do a review on it. And then next year, if we still have this interior in here, next year I'll do a review video on how well it's held up over a year. I'm excited. I'm excited to see what goes on with this project, because we're getting very close to finally getting the body work done. We got all the stuff to do it. We just got to get the body work done. Then we send it off. We're just gonna get wrapped. Once it comes back, we're getting airlift and wheels, and it's gonna be fun. It's gonna be fun. Then we're gonna be looking for another project car, so that's also gonna be interesting. I'm not sure what we're gonna get yet, but the right car will show up when we need it, so stay tuned for that. Crazy photography content coming as well, videography content also. I'm excited if you're still watching, or if you watch those series, and if not, check them out, because it's something that I think is pretty cool, and it correlates with cars, but also the other side of my personality. So I'm not gonna keep you guys any longer. I gotta get back to finishing this, so at least I can go to bed at a decent time. So I will see you next time.